When your spouse dies, you don't keep both Social Security checks. The smaller one disappears, and what's left depends on rules almost nobody explains in time. In the next few minutes, the twist that makes waiting worth even more, and one move worth tens of thousands of dollars. Even if this feels far off, stick around. Here's the thing. Most people assume survivor benefits mean your spouse's check gets added to yours. It doesn't. The honest version is both worse and better than that. Worse because a check disappears, not appears. Better because there's a completely legal way to come out ahead that almost nobody uses. Picture Ellen, 69, married 41 years to Walt, a railroad man. When Walt passed, Ellen called Social Security and assumed the bigger check would add to hers. It didn't. One check stopped. And for months, Ellen lived on less than half of what the household had the year before. Not because the system was unfair, but because nobody had shown her the rules in time. What Ellen didn't find out until months later, I'll tell you at the end. Stories like Ellen's are why the retirement map exists. By the end of this video, you'll know the rule Ellen didn't. 3 things decide what a surviving spouse actually receives: the one-check rule, the age curve, and the switch, which is the one move worth real money. None of these are complicated once you see them laid out. The trouble is almost nobody lays them out until after the fact. Let's start with the rule almost everyone gets wrong. When a spouse dies, Social Security does not add the 2 benefits together. You receive the larger of the 2, your own retirement benefit, or a survivor benefit based on what your spouse was getting. Never both. The smaller check just stops. So if you were collecting $1,200 a month on your own record and your spouse was collecting $2,200, your new monthly check is $2,200, not $3,400. That's the one-check rule, and it's the single biggest reason survivor benefits catch people off guard. And it doesn't matter who earned more over the years or whose name was on the bigger paycheck while you were both working. It's simply whichever of the 2 benefits was larger the month before the death. A bigger salary while working is no guarantee of a bigger check afterward. This is exactly the moment most people call Social Security expecting an addition problem and end up with a subtraction 1 instead. There's no form that changes that. It's simply how survivor benefits are built. Now, you might be wondering, does waiting help here the same way it helps with your own retirement? Sort of. And this is the twist almost nobody explains. A survivor benefit has its own age curve. Claim it at 60, and you get about 71.5% of what your spouse was entitled to. Wait until survivor full retirement age, 67 for most people alive today, and you get the full 100%. So far, that sounds just like your own retirement benefit. Here's where it's different. A survivor benefit stops growing right there at 100%. There's no 8% a year bonus for waiting past that point, the way there is with your own check, which can keep growing all the way to 70. 2 different clocks, 2 different ceilings. And mixing them up is exactly where real money gets left on the table. Put real numbers on it. Say your spouse's benefit was $2,000 a month. Claim survivor benefits the moment you turn 60, and you're looking at roughly $1,430. Wait until your survivor full retirement age, and it's the full $2,000, about $570 more every single month for the rest of your life just for waiting. But, and this is the part that trips people up, waiting past 67 doesn't add another dollar to that number. The clock simply stops. That's not a small gap. Over 20 years of collecting a survivor check, $570 a month, adds up to well over $100,000 in extra income, just from knowing which age to claim. Which brings us to the move Tom and Maria set up all the way back in the very first video on this channel, when Tom chose to wait until 70 specifically to protect whichever of them lived longer. Here's the actual payoff of that decision. A surviving spouse doesn't have to pick one benefit forever. You can claim the smaller one first, say, your own reduced retirement benefit at 62, while the survivor benefit keeps building toward its full value then switch to it once it's worth more. Or flip the order, take the survivor benefit early, since it runs on its own separate age table, and let your own retirement benefit grow all the way to 70, then switch to that instead once it overtakes the survivor check. Either direction, the strategy is the same. Claim the smaller check first, let the bigger one finish growing, then move to whichever one ends up larger. It's one of the only legal ways anywhere in the Social Security system to effectively collect two different growth curves back to back. This isn't a strategy for everyone. It only works if there's a real gap between your own benefit and the survivor benefit, and if you can afford to live on the smaller check for a while first. But when it fits, it's one of the highest value moves in this whole system. Here's roughly what that's worth. Claim a reduced retirement benefit of around $900 a month at 62, while a survivor benefit worth $2,000 at full value keeps climbing in the background. Switch over once it's fully grown and you've collected real income for 8 years you'd have otherwise spent waiting, without leaving a growing benefit sitting untouched past the point where it stopped growing. That's not a rounding error. Over a retirement, that ordering decision can be worth tens of thousands of dollars, and it costs nothing extra to get it right. Two smaller things worth knowing because they surprise people. First, Social Security also pays a one-time $255 lump sum to an eligible surviving spouse. It's small and it won't change your plan, but you have to apply within 2 years of the death, or it's gone for good. One quick note, since laws can shift, there's a bill in Congress right now that would raise that lump sum substantially. It hadn't passed as of this recording, so if you're watching this later, it's worth 30 seconds on SSA.gov to check the current number before you count on it. Second, a boundary worth knowing before it surprises you. Remarry before age 60, and you generally lose eligibility for survivor benefits on your late spouse's record. Remarry at 60 or later, and it doesn't affect your eligibility at all. A lot of people don't find out about that boundary until the decision's already made. Neither of these shows up automatically in the mail. You have to know to ask, which is exactly why it's worth knowing now, while the choice is still in front of you instead of behind you. Let's put a few real situations on this. Barbara's own retirement benefit runs about $2,400 a month. Her late husband's would have paid closer to $1,900. Her own check is already bigger, so the survivor benefit does nothing for her, and that's not a loophole she's missing. That's just how the rule is built to work. Sam remarried at 58, 2 years before his 60th birthday, for what felt like all the right reasons, and lost his eligibility on his first wife's record without anyone ever mentioning that was the rule. Nobody sat him down with a calendar, an expensive surprise, entirely avoidable if someone had shown him the chart first. And James did exactly what Ellen eventually learned to do, claimed his own reduced benefit of about $1,100 a month at 62 to cover the gap, then switched to the larger survivor check just over $1,800 once it passed his own at 67. 5 years of income he never had to sit and wait for. 3 different households, 3 different outcomes. And the only real difference between them was who happened to see this chart before the day they needed it. Now, you might be wondering, what does any of this mean for you today while you're both still here? 2 things. 1, if you're the higher earner, waiting on your own benefit isn't only a bigger check for you, it's the largest possible check your spouse could someday inherit. That's the real reason Tom waited. 2, if you're the one more likely to outlive your spouse, look at which of your 2 future checks, yours or the survivor check, is on track to be bigger, and plan your own claiming age around protecting that number, not just your own paycheck. Neither of you has to guess at this. Pull up your Social Security statements together, side by side, and just ask which check is likely to be the one that's left standing. That's the whole exercise, and it takes about 10 minutes at the kitchen table. So, what actually happens to your Social Security when your spouse dies? In one breath. You keep the larger of the 2 checks, never both. That check can be worth as little as 71.5% of your spouse's benefit if you claim it at 60, or the full amount if you wait until survivor full retirement age. And unlike your own retirement benefit, it stops growing right there. The switch is the one move that can turn two separate claiming decisions into meaningfully more lifetime income for whoever's left. For a lot of couples, getting that ordering right is worth more over a lifetime than almost any other Social Security decision you'll make. And it costs nothing to plan for, just clarity ahead of time. You've now seen the rule Ellen never had before the day she actually needed it. And Ellen? About 6 months after Walt passed, a friend mentioned the switch. Ellen had claimed her survivor benefit right away, out of necessity. But her own record, if she let it grow 4 more years, was on track to pay more than Walt's ever had. She's letting it grow now. Not because anyone at Social Security called to tell her, because somebody finally showed her the chart. That's the whole difference. Start to finish. Not more willpower, just better timing. If this helped, go ahead and subscribe. The Retirement Map charts one retirement decision every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Everything here is educational, not personal advice. Survivor rules have real edge cases, so a call to Social Security or a fee-only advisor before you file is always worth it. Now, waiting on purpose only pays off if the math behind it actually holds up, and that's exactly where Friday's video goes next, the exact age where you can stop saving for retirement completely and let compound growth finish the job for you. That's your next stop on the map. I'll see you there.